Hello, Ponyverse. My name is Radio Wave.
My name is Socketwrench.
My name is Chord.
And I am Ground Zero.
And this is Equestrian Overhaul. So today's episode that we're going to be talking about is the two-parter season premiere, Princess Twilight Sparkle. Alright, so the episode starts off with Princess Twilight, as she is now coronated, trying to learn how to fly from Rainbow Dash and ultimately failing at it. It's been about a year since the season has started, since they're celebrating the Summer Sun celebration again. And one thing that I noticed is, what is the Summer Sun celebration? Because a little bit later on, Princess Celestia is talking to Twilight in a room after Spike does the whole freakout thing with the, with the list. And, she just, notices that, she says, the Summer Sun celebration was the defeat of Nightmare Moon, celebrating that. And it's just like, wait, so they didn't have this before Nightmare Moon was around? And what does that have to do with the Summer Sun? I thought it was supposed to be like a solstice thing.
It is. It's a celebration of the summer solstice, which is the longest day of the year. So that's why it's, important. And they did celebrate it before, but then, I guess...
Nightmare Moon came in and messed everything up.
No, yeah, exactly. On the anniversary, on one of the Summer Sun celebration days, Nightmare Moon, or Luna, I guess, gets so upset that finally those, nightmare forces seen in the comics, take her over, and she goes bonkers, and she has to get banished, and then it's a reminder of that day for the rest of time till Luna comes back. That already covers my first point. I was just gonna say, I like the the continuity there. The fact that Celestia's
okay,
this day made me depressed, and now she's like, oh, but now I have my sister back. Whee! And they're like, yay.
Yeah, so can we just take a quick break from the storyline to say, the animation in this episode, especially the goddamn lighting, was fantastic. I cannot stress that enough.
I agree.
I really liked it, except in the part where Luna, in the flashback where she turns into Nightmare Moon, it looks so derpy.
Yeah,
I can't
okay.
even...
But in the first part of it, when they're in the hall with all of the stained glass windows that they've had made in their honor,
that was beautiful.
and they're just standing there, and that whole scene is basically a bunch of exposition, but just watching it, I was just the goddamn lighting, God, it was just so awesome.
I love that hall. That's one of my favorite settings in the whole show.
It's your favorite setting
hallway.
in the whole show.
Shut up!
I hate you!
Fucking suck it. Alright, another question that I had involving the whole setup for the episode is, why, and this is basically just a huge nitpick, but why does Mayor Mare need them so much? I mean, Ponyville's population is fairly large. There's a lot of people living there.
Ponyville is roughly here sized, I think.
Yeah, it's about the size of this town.
Large town, small city.
Yeah.
I have a point though. Every winter wrap up, they always failed to do it on time, and so as soon as Twilight came, then she just organized everything. So I would imagine that her friends, the mayor would imagine that her friends should be in charge of that, because they're sort of the same group.
I think they're higher up ranking than the other members of Ponyville, and because especially Applejack plays such a huge role in Ponyville, and
yeah, her family's the center of the entirety of their economy.
Exactly. And then Rainbow Dash with the weather and everything like that. I mean, and Fluttershy probably has to do something with the animals, I'm assuming.
She saves the town from bunnies occasionally.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bunny invasion of the 1960s.
Pinkie Pie probably she probably organizes all the events and everything. I'd say that they the five of them at least play pretty big roles.
Yeah, I guess that's true. So after all of the exposition happens in the hall with all of the stained glass windows, and Twilight talks to Princess Celestia, Celestia leaves the room and is promptly attacked by a tentacle plant monster.
This is stupid. I have a point here, and I think it's stupid because no guards.
Yeah,
where
that's
are
what I was
they?
thinking. No one hears Celestia scream.
What was that? Probably a mouse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or why are they not? You think that if she was in a room talking to Twilight, you'd think that on the other side of the door there would be guards there.
Yeah, okay. So we have 3 princesses in this castle. We have one of the princesses' assistant, and there's no night watch. There were more night watch in about time, and basically all they did was say, "Hey, Twilight, let me open that door for you."
I don't know, plot convenience. That's all it is.
Also,
Plot
it didn't
convenience.
even show Luna getting captured.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like, how did they get
Luna's
her?
not important.
They do that all the time. I mean, like, what episode was it? The a Canterlot wedding,
Oh.
and she, like, at the end she just comes back. She's like, "Hey, what I missed?"
Oh, yeah.
So they mocked
That
it.
was
She's
a
like, "What I
crazy
missed?"
ass party.
Yeah.
You guys like the moon?
Yeah, and then, you know, we all go into Ponyville, and all the characters are having their own little struggles with the whole, with the vines coming in. I didn't really find much that I liked about this scene, especially, like, Applejack's family. Like, you know, it kind of just felt like a filler moment.
Yeah.
One thing that I did like and wanted to comment on was, like, you know, Rarity's horn. Like, you know, when she licks it and puts out her magic with it.
I love that.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry,
I
thought it was funny.
I'm a unicorn, right? I've never done that with my horn before. Does it function with heat?
Do you want to try?
I don't know. That sounds so wrong.
Can we get a censor up over this?
You know, Twilight wakes up, the sky's all weird, they go downstairs, the guard sounds like Batman, then they go all off to Ponyville.
Was that artificially lowered, by the way? It seemed like partially artificially lowered.
Yeah, God, it
The
sounded...
guards' voices?
Yeah, one of the guards, when he came in, the brown one.
Mm-hmm.
Also, was it just me, or did all of the guards sound like they were voiced by Shining Armor?
Yeah.
Well, they can't just have
Budget
a million
cuts.
voice actors, and
Well, yeah, I know,
Yeah.
but, like, they all sounded like, you know, just slightly altered. I don't know who voiced them, but they all sound
is
like
it too
slightly
much
different
to
voices.
ask for Jim Miller to voice a guard?
Samuel L. Jackson.
Okay.
We have our next guest star on My Little Pony.
Oh my god.
I'm tired
Oh
of
my
these
God.
motherfucking changelings in this motherfucking castle.
Oh, I would like to point out something.
I'm here to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. What?
After the sun and moon were both in the sky was split in half. Like, half of it was night, half of it was
I
day.
know, that was so orderly. I liked it. It was symmetrical.
That's not how physics work.
Dude, they have, like, demigods raising the celestial bodies with their
Okay,
magic.
If you add magic into the equation, it throws out all
You
logic.
got something against unicorns?
like Pinkie
Personal
Pie.
headcanon is that the bodies actually do move on their own, and, Celestia and Luna just pretend to move them so that people will obey them.
They are the Chris Angels of Ponyville.
False idols, false idols.
I love this scene with, when the vines are coming in, and it's before Twilight gets there, and Pinkie, like,
Oh my God,
slides
Pinkie.
in, and they're all sort of shown to just be, like, doing their own thing,
Yeah.
and they're not, like, forcing the characters in, they're just sort of there, and they're, like, a part of the scenery and stuff.
Yeah, that was really cool. And then, apparently Twilight's house is really open because people can just walk straight in.
It's a library!
Well, I know. Still, man.
It's her house.
Yeah, God, she also lives there. I mean, like,
Maybe her friends know where the hide key is.
yeah, even.
Yeah, they probably have, like, their own little... They probably have, like, a key under the mat or something. Or their own key, I don't know.
Or
Magic
like a
key.
fake rock with a planter.
Why wouldn't it be
Yeah.
a magic key?
So then
I don't know.
then Twilight shows up, and they all go off, and they accuse Discord, and I'm not exactly sure why they accuse Discord so fast, other than give them an
it's-
introduction.
I think it's obvious why they would accuse
well,
Discord.
no, I mean like
It's
no,
in his damn name.
no, just think about it for a second. All they have as proof is that some supernatural shit's going on, and just hear me out on this. Just hear me out on this. All they have as proof is that something supernatural's going on. Like, that's it. Like, things are getting really weird. Like, how do they know it's not some, like, you know, I don't know, like, plant monster or something?
Honestly, when I first saw the vines, and I didn't, like, if I knew about the vines and I didn't see the sky or the weird clouds, I actually thought it was changeling based because the vines have Queen Crystal's color scheme and the leaves have holes.
Yes.
That's true. I noticed that it was changeling colors, but I didn't really expect them to be doing anything.
Yeah.
Cause like remember I treat the comics like they're also canon, and the changelings are all
too.
trapped in that castle.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. I think it would have been interesting.
I think it would have been interesting, but you know
They
yeah.
they focus so much on Discord. It's like, come on, you've got.
And like
This is just a small childlike flame that flickers inside me that forever hopes for Sombra to return. Also, speaking of
Sombra's
which,
dead. He's like the only character.
shut up! No,
like,
he's not dead. He's not dead. He's not dead. Headcanon, he's just trapped in his horn. That horn survived for a reason. He's just gonna come out of it one day, like, pop, and he's gonna be like, I'm back. And this draws me to another thing, is that, like, with the potion, did you notice that, what's her face? Zecora, she's like, alicorn magic can, like, ignite the potion, but then Twilight uses Sombra's
she uses dark magic, and I was questioning, like, he's not an alicorn.
First of all, yeah, he's not an alicorn, and Twilight's normal magic is alicorn magic.
Yeah.
Dark magic is a totally different thing.
Yeah, she could have said something like, I don't know, like the forbidden arts or something.
Exactly. That was weird.
Yeah.
And still, upon watching this episode for the first time, I was like, is that gonna be a thing? And it wasn't.
And then your dreams were crushed. So anyways, then Twilight drinks the potion, and we get this super, super awesome flashback. And I just want to put out right now that I love the flashback.
Oh my god.
I love the flashback, but if you think about it right now, just think about it.
That was so forced.
It was forced, but in the sense that if you took it out of the episode, absolutely nothing would change.
Exactly. She could have got those flashbacks any other way, and I think the whole potion thing, like, they don't even move. They just sort of stand there while plot happens.
Yeah, I mean, I liked it. I love how it gives the explanation to the whole, like, you know, how this shit went down thing.
I love the flashbacks, I love the world building, but the fact that they used it with, like, this weird potion out of the blue, like, out of nowhere. Zecora didn't even have to be in the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I didn't even like all of the flashback. Like, the transformation into Nightmare Moon thing, it seemed kind of like, you know, oh, stereotypical villain, like, you know, like, here's, like, she gets, like, you know, the snake eyes, and then, like, the teeth change, and it's like, all I could think of was Monty Python, like, that one line, like, you know, for death surely awaits you with big, pointy teeth.
Well, see, the thing is, I don't mind Nightmare Moon or anything, and I actually liked how, for the almost the entirety of that scene, you thought it was, like, actually happening, and it wasn't in the past.
Honestly,
like, that's what I thought when I first saw it, until, you know, Celestia rose the elements out of the ground. Like, for once, you didn't know what was going on along with Twilight, instead of knowing without her realizing.
No, I could tell that this was a whole, like, you know, this is the past thing. Like, you
when
know,
she wasn't responding to Twilight, that's when I knew.
From the first, when I saw, like, you know, when they released the whole, the animatic thing at the San Diego Comic-Con, and I saw videos of that, like, from the first time that I saw that, I was just like, you know, oh, it's gonna be flashback.
Are you, because, like, when I saw it on YouTube, I actually thought I thought Luna was going to turn back in Nightmare Moon. I didn't know it was a flashback.
See, it gave me the context because, like, she had lines like, you know, basking in your light. And I was like, oh, she's referring to Celestia.
I thought she was talking about Twilight.
Also, I could tell, like, you know, it looked nothing like the Canterlot Castle, like the throne room.
It was the castle of the two sisters.
Yeah, it was the castle of the two sisters, and we haven't seen enough of the castle to really pinpoint it at that point, but I knew it was like, alright, this isn't Canterlot.
I thought, you know, I honestly I don't know. My mind didn't, like, register that it was the old sisters' castle. I thought maybe they had gone there or something, like they were retreated there, some fight was taken there, I don't know.
Yeah.
But for some reason, my mind was like, "Oh, this is actually happening."
And then we have the second flashback, which is still kind of forced, but it's a lot. It actually has to do with the story, and it's a lot better. I'm just gonna put this out there. As soon as I saw the seeds, I knew that that's where the plants came from.
Really? I didn't.
I didn't. I thought he was eating rocks at first.
I thought he was eating like chocolate-covered blueberries.
I thought they were rocks. I
See?
thought he was just eating rocks to be weird and silly. I mean, he drank the glass of
And then he
chocolate
threw the
milk
milk
and
and
threw
it
the milk,
exploded.
and then it exploded with like a Powerpuff Girl sound effect. So I was like, "Okay, he's just eating, he's eating rocks."
See, I, like they had the same color scheme, and he was throwing them everywhere, and I'm all like, yeah, this is probably where they're gonna come from, and I turned out to be right. So
You just know everything, don't you?
I have an
Good for
I have
you.
an uncanny ability to predict the ending of some episode.
Whatever.
So
Yeah.
basically, all right. So the second flashback happens, and I really like Discord in this episode.
I do.
I think he was a really cool addition, although his entrance and like that stuff is kind of forced and shit. I
I was gonna mention that the summoning thing is weird because throughout the rest of the season, he just pops up willingly.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they needed the elements to summon him, and I guess that's like the only time they ever actually ended up using it. So yeah.
Strange, but he was good in this episode. I like him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. A lot of people complained that the Everfree Forest suddenly got like a lot safer this season. Like ponies could just walk straight in and not die or anything. But like in this episode, as they're walking in, they almost immediately get attacked. And my theory for that is, in this episode, they give the tree back the elements of harmony, and Celestia in the flashback states that that's what protects the tree, and that the tree is containing the forest. And my theory is that the forest gradually got more dangerous after the elements were originally removed.
What, did it just wear out?
Yeah, well, no.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
That's what happened with the seeds.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
The magic eventually just got worn down, and then the
Like an old
seeds
pair of
started to get through.
Skechers.
Yeah, so like all of the creatures were eventually allowed to roam a little bit more freely, and they were a little bit more dangerous. And now since the elements are back, the magic's super strong again. It's a lot more in control.
That's probably rad as well. But I think also it may have removed a few of the predators. So, like the crocodile.
The crocodile.
I call it the crocodile.
That
see,
makes
I don't
much
think it
more
necessar-
sense.
I don't think it
I would call it the
necessarily-
Socketwrench.
It's not a sock. I will socket in the face.
There we go. Oh gosh, I don't like that the crocodile out of nowhere. It was like, here's an example of some conflict, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Nothing else
And then,
pops
then
up at
immediately
them.
afterwards. Let me just say this: Applejack, you are a fucking ass in this episode. Even from the start, when she's just all like, "Oh, the elements of harmony are what combine us together," and it's just like throughout the entire thing, she's just being incredibly annoying. And then we finally get up to this point, and the crocodile attacks them. And Applejack's just like, I think you should go home because, Equestria still needs, like, a princess to rule over it in case, we can't find him. And it's like, does Cadence not matter anymore?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, where's Cadence? Where's this?
Somewhere else.
I mean, like
She's doing stuff.
I mean, it did give Discord an opportunity to, kind of weasel in some, sarcastic lesson teaching, which was cool. But,
Every time he appears, he kind of does that. He, gets into their heads and teaches a lesson.
Yeah, he's manipulative and he's helpful, but
But
people
he's
don't think he's helpful.
Helpfully manipulative.
Yeah, every pony's just like,
He's
why are you
reformed,
Yeah, every pony's just like, why are you such an asshole, Discord? And Discord's like, haha, I'm secretly giving you subliminal messages. I'm in every pony's head. So yeah.
Exactly. I like that, but see, it makes sense for Applejack to want Twilight to return back, but then when you think about it even deeper, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, the elements of harmony don't even work without all six of them. So
And then what's their plan once they actually get there, alright? Once they actually get there, and everyone's just all like, oh god, the tree's dying, and then, what their plan is? Applejack and Rainbow Dash try to physically beat up the vines, because that's totally worked in the past of this episode. And Rarity's just all like, no pony's doing anything useful. Like,
Yeah, well, it's like, you guys are smart ponies. You're
Rainbow
capable.
Dash can fly back to Equestria.
Easily, exactly.
I mean,
And what I'm wondering is, like, how come it's only them? I mean, if you think that if, like, all of Ponyville were to form an army and, like, attack it at once.
just every pony just runs straight into the Everfree Forest, and like they're all wielding like fucking chainsaws. And...
Yeah.
In the season 4 finale, it's proven that the ponies of Equestria altogether are extremely powerful.
Yeah, that's true. But like at the same time, the residents of Ponyville are kind of infamous for straight up panicking, and some of them were actually like captured by the vines, and yeah.
And Discord used like one of them as like a file.
No, that was Gummy. He used Gummy as a file.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
Gummy. I know, but I love that though. How they're like, Discord's just like, okay, whatever. And then Twilight comes back and he's like, oh.
Yeah, and like he like legitimately freaks out, like, oh shit. It's like, you know, like when your parents come home.
It's like he's
and,
a little kid watching.
and you're watching really awkward porn or something.
Oh my god.
Yeah. You have to like switch it to
And then, like you
some
close your
weird
computer,
show.
but the sound's still going.
I was watching Keyboard Cat. Did you have a good
Oh
time?
no,
with
I was.
Buc-ee's?
No, I've been sitting here for the past half an hour, staring at my desktop.
Yeah, I really liked Discord in this episode. He had a lot of really good moments.
He was fantastic. I love how you can't tell. Is he really good? Is he not? Is he messing with them? Is he trying to make himself look like he's good, then betray them later?
Yeah, because like the episode set it up like, you know, he was saying all of these lines in a really sarcastic fashion. I mean, like, you know, he was just like his tone was like, I'm reformed. I do all of this nice stuff now. You can totally trust me. And like it turns out they can totally trust him. So yeah, like, you know, that was really cool, and he actually gets Twilight to run back into the forest, which turns out to be a really bad idea because they get attacked by more hentai vines and Spike
oh my god, are
does
you
his-
kidding me? No, the
Tentacles.
innuendo in this episode is extremely prevalent.
I joke about it, but there are some ponies on Tumblr, man. They yeah.
It's so obvious though.
I'd like to point out something about the tree. Cadence's cutie mark was nowhere on that tree.
That's what I have that in my notes too. That her cutie mark was nowhere there.
Silly Socket, Cadence isn't a princess. So, you know, they get attacked by more of the vines, and they actually have kind of a cool fight scene where they're all using their own talents and shit. And I really love how Twilight's like, you know, just, you know, shoots the one that's about to attack Pinky at the end. She just looks up and she's got like, you know, this fucking like, you know, that's fucking right, you stay down expression on her face. Like,
When does this occur?
like it's like when they have the sleeping gas vines. Every pony's trying to save Twilight. Every pony is just like, you know, beating up the vines. Pinky almost gets attacked by one, and Twilight shoots a beam and fries one. Twilight just looks up, and she's got like, you know, these like this Clint Eastwood, like, you know, just fuck you expression.
Yes.
So yeah, so they all beat up the vines, and, you know, then they put the elements in and they save the tree, and then the crowning moment of this episode comes in, and that is the box. This is the item. This is the item that kept everyone waiting for the rest of the season because they thought it was gonna be something insanely.
Okay,
awesome.
I talked to Socket about this when the episode first came out. I was like, oh no, not another treasure hunt,
Oh,
more
yeah.
keys, no, Omega Lock, Omega keys. Replace Celestia with Optimus Prime. We don't know where these keys are. I don't know how you're gonna find them, but we have to keep the Decepticons from getting them. That's what I thought it was gonna be. I thought they were just going to recreate Transformers Prime season 2 and 3 just all over again with the constant scavenger hunts. There were three.
Now we're getting into the wrong Hasbro franchise.
MLP actually pulled a fast one, and my expectations were, for once, like my predictions weren't true, and I'm happy for that at least.
Yeah.
I'm wrong.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, this wasn't a scavenger hunt.
They
weren't. It wasn't going to be like good against evil, like Russia, America racing to have the most bombs, like trying to find the keys. But instead, it was more like a it was more like I don't know, it was different, and I liked it.
Yeah, see, I was really excited, and then like a week later, you know, that whole Italian commercial news comes out where they you know, like in Italy they showed the rainbow magic power, you know, rainbow power TV shows or not TV shows. They showed the commercials, and like everyone posted that online. And I'm all like, oh, please let this just be a toy thing, because it was just like, you know, the recolored vectors that they copy paste everywhere in the merch. And this is jumping like through the entire season, but I just want to say, and I'll get into this in more depth once we actually get to the season finale. I was not that pissed off at Rainbow Power as I thought I was going to be, and some of the designs I actually kind of like and I think are kind of cool.
Me too. I agree.
We're going to get so much hate, and it's only our first video.
I know.
See, the thing is, so at the beginning, with the elements of harmony gone, I was thinking, you know, they're not sending the letters into Celestia anymore. There's like the elements of harmony are gone. I was gonna be like, what's gonna happen? And they like tied it in, like they found their keys with their elements when they had a moment when they were questioning like their element.
See, and I think that's what they were trying to do with Applejack in this episode. The fact that, like, you know, she was trying to talk about how, like, you know, the whole connection with the elements and stuff, but then they just took it way overboard, where they could have just said, like, you know, the elements reside within us. They instead, like, you know, made her just nail in, like, you know, just make sure that every pony knows that they all wield magic pretty necklaces. Make sure every pony knows this. Any pony that doesn't know needs to die now. Yeah, so I think it's about time to let Power Chord talk about something.
All right. So you know how when Applejack was talking about how like the elements are what keep us together, that whole thing, and how Twilight was saying no, it's friendship. That's the moral I chose because I think it's better than anything else represented in this episode. I like the moral itself. I like it. I understand that like this is kind of one of the things that makes me think that, you know, it's really nice watching shows like this because it has morals. You don't always see that in television.
And when you do, they're shitty. I know.
But see, now the thing about this moral that I don't like is to pull it off, they kind of had to dumb down a lot of the characters, especially Applejack. I'm going to completely shatter. Well, not shatter. I'm going to completely oppose what you said about Applejack. I liked her in a lot of this episode, but they dumbed her down near the end, and I
near the end, near the beginning.
Well, let's just say she was dumb in the beginning. She was dumber by the end.
All right.
Yeah, she went from Republican to redneck.
Exactly.
She never go full retard, damn it.
Right. No, okay, well, that's a matter of opinion because sometimes one is more extreme than the other.
I mean, like, it kind of made them seem like they forgot what friendship is about. Like, oh, friendship is dependent on objects, right? You know, like, give me money.
Yeah, I was kind of feeling that vibe, too, with the whole...
Like, see, the thing is that they let... It's hard to explain because it's not that they had a problem with friendship, it's that they thought, okay, Twilight is super important.
Yeah, I know.
So we have to, like, split up, even though it's still a valid point.
Yeah, I was gonna say that, yeah, for that one scenario where they were trying to protect Twilight, I completely get that. But the thing that I was realizing while I was thinking about this, about the moral, they kind of, like, the dumbing down of them kind of seemed to, like, show that even though they've been through, like, 3 seasons of this, they still have a lot to learn. And, which in itself is a good moral. Them being reluctant to give up the elements wasn't solely based on that, you know, it's what kept their friendship together. You see, like, the elements help protect them through a lot of danger, and I think that they have, like, a psychological bond.
Well, yeah, they referenced that in the episode. I mean, like, you know,
yeah,
Rainbow is all like, you know, like, well, Nat, what are we gonna use to defend Equestria? Yeah. Listen to my voice. I'm so sorry.
They weren't just worried about the friendship connection. They were scared that they wouldn't be able to defend themselves, which is what.
Yeah. And then Rarity comes in with how are we gonna rein Discord in?
Now I'm gonna go on to characters, just the individual analysis of each character. Rarity. I'm gonna start with her. I normally don't like Rarity or Rainbow Dash because I'm not a big fan of the naggy or the braggy character.
This is gonna be good.
So, I really liked Rarity in this episode because, her nagginess was very minimum, and her bickering was I didn't notice it at all. She seemed a little bit more thoughtful. I didn't hear her complaining, oh, my hair's not right. I heard her, actually genuinely caring for her friends. The whole Twilight thing where they wanted to send her back. She was kind of, very somber. She was very...
Sombra?
She was very...
Tread carefully, Power Chord. They don't call her Ground Zero for nothing.
I'm sorry, she was very... deep and more emotional.
Compassionate.
There you go. That's the word. Thank you. I'm sorry, my vocabulary is limited.
Yeah, he has a vocabulary of about a squirrel.
Chirp, chirp. Nuts. Is that it?
Yeah, especially the nuts part.
Hey, you know what? When the squirrels take over, they're gonna come after you first, because you question
I love Fluttershy. I am Fluttershy's disciple and student. They will not attack me. We're gonna build off of my analysis.
Well, see, that's the thing, though. With Rarity, I love Rarity, is because first of all, she's my favorite of the main. She's my favorite of the main six because, sure, she's girly and she can be vain, but she knows when to hide that when it's not appropriate.
Yeah.
She's I realize that right now I have to fight and I have to stay there for my friends, so that's what she does.
Yeah, I fight for my friends.
She doesn't let her her default mind settings to get in the way of intense situations, and I really like that in her.
Remember Dragon Quest? Where she's all normally I don't fight, but if you lay one hand on Spike, I will tear you to pieces.
Exactly. She's that type of person. She's like the mom who looks really, really pretty, but she will rip your throat out if you dare touch her young. But yeah, I really, really like her. I gotta say, and the thing is though, is that same with Rainbow Dash, and I think the times when they aren't right is when it's for plot convenience. Sometimes they make Rainbow Dash too obnoxious and she's too much of a jerk.
That's
her real Rainbow Dash really, really, really means well, and she knows when to put aside her selfishness, her arrogance, etc., and to set them aside and focus on the task at hand.
Yeah. All right. So the next analysis is both Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy. In this episode specifically, they didn't have in regard to the main group, they didn't have the big roles. They were more of
they did nothing.
Yeah, they were there a little bit more for laugh,
comedic
effects. They but I think they did their job well in this episode because clearly the writers weren't. Because if the writers tried to focus on everybody, that would just be a complete mess. It's oh, we got to give Pinkie Pie some deep, thoughtful time. No. It's not like a fucking circle.
Yeah.
It's where you
creamy,
share
creamy frosting.
Yeah, there are a lot of things with Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy in this episode they could have just not had.
Yeah, okay.
Pinkie Pie, good Pinkie Pie parts were when, she sends the letter to Twilight, she opens it and, confetti pops out.
Or when she just falls down the stairs and she's take the stairs, silly.
Exactly. It's okay, those were kind of important. They were good. They were cute. They didn't have to be there, but they were still there, and it worked fine. But then other parts were very extraneous.
The coloring book thing, Like,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
like,
coloring
like,
book.
Pinky has looked
That just
through-
made her look stupid.
Yeah, Pinky's looked through Twilight's library countless times and has actually found some incredibly important information. That's like been there since the first episode when we had the "It's under E" gag, and now she's going through coloring books, and it's just like, no, I mean, like, God, she's an intelligent character. Like, you can't.
Yeah, they really dumb her down a lot.
I do
And
wanna
the
say
fact, I hate when she goes and, like, screams in Pony's faces, no matter how nice she's trying to be or something.
Yeah.
It's just obnoxious.
It's like, notice me!
See,
Yeah.
I will say that Fluttershy was useful in this episode in the fact that she's the one that kept everyone from just shutting Discord out. Because
Yeah, exactly. Well, they could have blamed the whole thing on Discord, turned it back into stone, it would have been done with.
Yeah, and then everyone would have died in the forest.
Yeah, pretty much.
So yeah, thanks Discord, you did good.
But alright, so...
I find it interesting that, like, here in the beginning, you see Discord, he doesn't really care. I mean, he says Shutterfly and picks up Rainbow Dash, was it?
Yeah.
And he doesn't really care, and he just kind of uses, Fluttershy's, like, nervous faith in him to his advantage, and then later on, he is at the very end, he's hinted to care for her and stuff. I just think, I really like it.
I think that's like the relationship that they share. Like, Discord, he's the spirit of chaos, and with chaos comes apathy. He doesn't really care about a lot of other ponies' emotions. He doesn't care about, what this pony's thinking, or, it even takes him a lot of time to warm up to the rest of the main six. But with Fluttershy, she's the one that Discord connects to, really fast in season 3.
Because she's his polar opposite.
Yeah, she's his polar opposite. She's quiet, reserved, and she does, what other ponies want her to do.
She's very serene and peaceful, but because she's so different from him, but still takes the time to, try and be a friend to him, that he appreciates it.
Yeah, and, I think that's the kind of relationship that they share, where, Discord doesn't he's not the kind of person that's going to show, wear his appreciation and love of ponies on his sleeve. He's, he really likes Fluttershy, but he doesn't express his friendship that way.
No, and see, it's
like
nice
Socket
to,
and I. I'm just gonna put this out here. I'm a total ass to Socket. I'm an ass to everyone.
Especially me.
Yeah, especially him. Especially him.
I'm glad he admits it.
Yeah, but we're still really good friends and stuff. I mean, yeah. So it's like that. I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
To a slightly more severe degree.
Yeah.
And with a lot less bodily harm.
Well, hang on. At the end, at the what's it called? The season finale, it's shown to be reversed.
Yeah.
He keeps hinting that he really does like Fluttershy and everything, and then pretends to not care.
Yeah.
While here in the beginning, he pretends to care and he really doesn't. And I think in this episode, her little smidge of faith for him is what causes him to hang out with her behind the scenes throughout the rest of the series, and then becomes friends at the end.
Yeah,
it's really nice. I like it.
Because at this point, we know that the series functions there are weeks at a time between episodes, and they start sending each other letters now. So yeah, this is I do agree with the fact that this is kind of the start of where Fluttershy and Discord's relationship takes off.
It really begins.
Yeah.
So anyway, I liked what the writers did with them, because they as I said, they can't focus on every pony in the group. They had to push a few out, and I think Pinky and Fluttershy were the right ones to push out, because they were able to add little important moments and a bit of comedy to the story without being overwhelming in the episode. Now going to Rainbow Dash, she didn't play as big a role as I thought she would in this episode. She was more of support to Twilight and accusing Discord wrongly. At least in my view, she seemed to take a backseat even to Pinkie Pie and Fluttershy. And I do kind of wish that they had done a little bit more with involving her in the plot of the episode. Yeah.
I mean, I think she did something. I like how she opposed Applejack a little bit. they both resort to like punching vines, but they have different opinions on or different ways of presenting the fact of Twilight leaving the group.
It was
I think it's
pointless
interesting.
that they did that, but yeah.
It was pointless, but it does
See,
show their
think it
character
It gave a little
differences.
bit of character, I guess.
Well, no, it was an excuse to give Discord a really great moment. They just they just didn't write.
Yeah,
that
that's
part
what it
in
was.
Very well.
I just think that she should have been involved a bit more in like one or two more emotional scenes. Not too much, but like she didn't really like contribute much to helping the group make decisions.
Well, that's not her though. She's not like a super
Yeah,
logical pony, and she's not
she's
an
a pony of
emotional pony
action.
either.
That is true. I kind of wish they had done just a little bit more with her. Like even
Rather
just-
than action through non-action, like Rarity maybe or Fluttershy, she's just action through action. She's like, I'm gonna do, and if that doesn't work, then I'll let one of the other more
exactly. I mean,
logic-based ponies take
I'm
care
gonna
of
kick
it,
in, and
and
if
I'll
it doesn't
help.
work, I'll get a bulldozer.
Yeah, that was exactly her plan. I mean, with the vines and stuff, she gets to the tree. What's the first thing she do? She tries to kill it. She tries to kick the fucking shit out of it. I mean, that's the entirety of her plan.
And the clouds. Don't worry.
Yeah, she's just gonna beat it up. And if that doesn't work, well,
Those
I guess
clouds-
we need to call Twilight.
I'll
back.
help.
Those
I'll help the
clouds
smart
look
one.
very sticky and gross. That was like really old cotton candy.
Oh God.
Well, they were cotton candy before, so maybe it was old cotton candy.
It could be, and it had stuff sticking out of it. I thought that
Spikes.
was
I don't know what those were.
They were thorns.
I guess they're just thorns.
Supposed to be
Yeah.
Thorns. I don't know.
thorny.
Maybe
thorny
they
water.
were.
Well, they're sentient clouds. They were able to aim their lightning bolts.
That is true. I don't know how she was dodging lightning. All right. Next, Applejack. I think that.
Fuck you.
We've kind of covered most
Yeah,
of this.
God, you know what? Skip Applejack, and then just go to Twilight. She was a good role.
No, this is proof of how lame Applejack is. Is that so my cousin, she like helps these like preschooler kids over the summer, and once she was playing My Little Pony like pretend with this little girl, and the girl of course is like 3 or 4, and she told some other girl that she could pretend to be Applejack, and then she leaned over to my cousin. She's like, "No one cares about Applejack."
Ha!
From the opinion of like a 4-year-old. That's how lame Applejack is that the little kids even notice.
Oh my God, Applejack is not even the best background pony.
I like Applejack. Screw you guys.
See, the thing is, though, I do like Applejack when her character is done right, but
Yeah,
they make
see-
her super lame.
It's
She's
like, it
the
was-
fact
it's-
is she's easily washed out by the other characters.
Yeah, God, I mean,
She was like the spokespony of the group.
but I mean, she's a stereotype in the sense that, like, she sits there and she's a hard-working farm girl. That describes 80% of her character. She's a hard-working farm pony.
I am a farm pony who likes my family and apples.
No, I think that she definitely, like, at least in this episode, stayed true to her honesty role, because she was like, she just like put out her feelings, like, you should go back because
Well, her feelings are stupid.
well, if you look back at the rest of the group, they all were thinking the same thing.
Well, that's because
Yeah,
Applejack
and
convinced
she's the
them.
one who had the guts to say it, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Who'd
they
you expect to say
they
it
played it
first?
wrong.
It was dumbed down. I know I don't like the way, like, some of the ways she was written in this, but I think that it
Yeah,
kind of,
she
like,
was
they had
still-
to do it to some character, and
They had the opportunity to use her right, and
they just did.
she was like lamed out by everything else.
Yeah, she was like put under the spotlight a bit more, and she didn't really like do it well.
And now we have the Alicorn princess herself.
Yes, Twilight. I think that as the main of the 6, as the main focus, she did really well. Her like reactions to events through like in the episode, they were actually like really well done. Like for instance, as you guys were talking about the flashback when Celestia died.
She
Oh,
looked like she died.
no,
For a
oh, I'm
second,
sorry.
though, she did look
I'm
dead.
sorry.
I was like, oh my god,
I
some
know.
little girl right now is probably crying because her favorite princess has just died on
See,
screen.
I always saw
Like,
Celestia
that was-
as the mother figure to Twilight.
Except for, like, you know, her mom.
No, I always saw Celestia.
She has a mom.
I know, but I never saw her mom.
I get
'Cause
what Power Chord's
Dude,
getting
she was
at.
in 2 episodes. She was in.
Celestia was in a lot more than 2 episodes and cared a lot for Twilight.
They've known each other since Twilight was a little filly, that's why.
Yeah.
So they have like a teacher-student, mother-daughter bond.
I was thinking
Yeah.
more aunt niece.
I was thinking.
Yeah, she's like the cool aunt that everyone likes.
Yeah. So
Oh my god. Alright, so anyway, when she was crying, I think that gave a lot of like insight into the bond of their bondage.
see, I couldn't take that seriously because all I could think of was Lion King.
Shut up. I also
Dad!
I also
Long
like how
live the
she
king.
stepped-
Get up!
Shut
Long
up!
live the king, King Sombra. I see what's going on here.
I
Your
also
move,
like how-
Hasbro.
I also like how she when the role of leadership was thrust upon her, she acted well in that moment. Like it would have
Yeah.
seemed like stupid to have her cower back.
Well, I mean, like, she's been a leader
I
in
could
the
see
past.
because
I mean,
she's
yeah,
never done like
Winter wrap-up.
princess roles before, and here she had to really take on that role.
Yeah.
Except now it just occurred to me just now that at the end it was kind of stupid because she could have easily said, "I'm the princess. I'm going to go with you and protect my land." But
Yeah. But like
at the beginning though, and she's like, and then like gives the orders.
I don't think she wanted to like if you saw how her friends were treating her different. I think
Yeah,
she was
I don't
trying
think
to
she'd
give
want
them-
to
hold on, I think she was
impose
trying
on
to
her
give them
friends.
the idea. I think she was trying to give them the idea that she didn't want to be treated any different because she had a new status. I think she was trying to
Yeah, I don't
still
think
act like a friend and not like their lord and savior.
they're subjects to her.
Oh, so now she's the Jesus of Equestria?
I did like the way she delivered the moral, by the way. I think that she did that pretty well. Like she was very comforting to their, like, they were scared at that moment, and I think she her like voice and her animation, like with her face, that was very well done because it was more of like she was trying to comfort them.
I've noticed that at some times she becomes a mini Celestia.
Yeah, she's a little baby Celestia.
See, I don't like that. I think, like, you know, because Celestia is supposed to be this all-powerful character that kind of knows everything and just lets Twilight do it for the sake of learning. But
No,
like,
but see, it's if you read the latest issues of the comics, Celestia, when she was younger, was very, very naive, and in fact, I think Twilight is actually more mature than Celestia was when Celestia was in this state of
Because Celestia is now
Twilight.
able to help enlighten her on her journey. Celestia.
exactly, and Twilight kind of reflects that a lot now.
I think that like she's gonna grow even into a more powerful pony than Celestia when she's Celestia's age. All right, so I don't really have any more comments about Twilight herself.
yeah, I mean, like
I
finishing
don't-
thoughts. I thought this two-parter was a pretty good way to start off the season.
There were some rough patches along
It
the way.
could-
Yeah, there were some.
It
there
could
was-
be better. It could have been better, but
it
really,
definitely got some questions going with the whole box thing. It set up the box really nicely. I like the box.
Agreed.
So yeah, I don't know. I give it maybe like a 7 out of 10. It was pretty decent. It had some problems, but
I would have said 7, maybe 8.
Gore.
5 is a C to me.
1 is Mysterious Mare-Duel, and like 10 is like
No.
what's the one with the smile song?
A friend indeed.
Yeah. 10 is A Friend Indeed. 1 is Mysterious Mare-Duel.
I'm gonna have to say, maybe like 6 of Discord seeds out of all the princesses minus Cadence because apparently she's not important.
I'd say this is it's not my favorite season premiere out
No.
of all of them, so I'd say like maybe a 6 or a 6.5.
It was okay. It was okay, but not the best starter.
Yeah.
I think that concludes it for our first episode of Equestrian Overhaul. We'll see you again, guys, next time.